Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Grid League, and let's see what we're running today. We're going to be running the Azumarill paired with the Registeel and Altaria here. We're going to be switched out into the Medicham here. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of Medichams running a wide range of moves, specifically Power Up Punch and Psychic, and this is just a gut call. So that's why we switched into the Altaria here, and it does look like this Medicham is running the Power Up Punch Psychic version, as it decided to go for the Psychic first. And there's the Power Up Punch bait right there. So we know that they are running the bait and Psychic move. We know that this is the Power Up Punch. We don't shield here, and then we're going to be able to farm down. We do win that switch, so we do maintain alignment. We're going to go for this Sky Attack here. The Sky Attack does, 40%. And then we're going to come back in with our Azumarill. They swap out into the Venusaur, and we already have a Registeel for that Venusaur, so they know that is GG's, so they decided to leave. Next, let's see what we find. So this is a pretty balanced team. As you can imagine, the Azumarill is pretty big staple in the Great League, paired with the Registeel. And then the Altaria using the Dragon typing is very, very powerful. We know that this is a, depending on if they get the boost, it's kind of a neutral matchup. So we're going to threaten a shield here. We're going to get the Focus Blast to go off. They decide to shield. We're going to shield here just in case this is a Hydro Cannon. But they go for the Night Slash bait and they get the boost right there. So that is the worst case scenario for us. They decide to go for another Night Slash right there. It does not KO. And then we're going to be able to get to this Focus Blast. This Focus Blast does get the second shield from our opponent, so we know that we can just come in with our Azumarill here to soak up damage and energy. This Hydro Cannon, I don't know, as a boosted, did roughly 15%, 20%. And then they decide to switch out into the Trevenant here. We know that this Trevenant is going to be able to get to this Shadow Ball, so we're going to be able to shield, or we're going to be able to tank this Shadow Ball. We might shield on the next one. And then we're going to go for this Sky Attack to take out this Trevenant. We know that this Altaria right here is going to have to take super effective Dragon Breath. And then we're going to go for this Ice Beam right here. This Ice Beam almost takes out the Azumarill, but that's perfect because we get extra farm. And then now we're going to be able to get to a play rough for the KO after we shield right here. I think it was a safer play to just shield right here just in case. But we do get to the play rough and we win that matchup right there. So GG's to our opponent right there, and let's see what we see next. Pretty balanced and pretty significant in this meta currently, as you know, we're seeing a bunch of grass types wandering around. Dragon types are starting to creep up. So we get a good lead. They switch into the Lantern. We're going to switch into our Registeel. We're just going to go for this Zap Cannon here to potentially get a debuff, but also do some good neutral damage. We do get the debuff. And then we're going to have to decide to see if we're going to go for Focus Blast or Zap Cannon right here. It looks like we're going to go for the Focus Blast right there. We do get the shield. And our opponent is going to have to throw a move here to take us out. So that's what they end up doing. And then here, we're obviously going to go into our Altaria here. This is a great opportunity for a farm down, because they're already debuffed and we are doing some good neutral Dragon Breaths. We know that they have that Shadow Dragon in the friends here. So we're going to threaten KO or the last shield. So we decide to go for the Moon Blast. And then we have two shields with our Azumarill here. Even though we are weak to this Trevenant, two shields Azumarill is actually pretty good for us. We're going to go for this Ice Beam here. It does roughly 70%. And then now we are going to be able to just double shield here. And then we're going to take out this Trevenant as soon as possible. We're not going to mess around. This Ice Beam does take out the Trevenant, and as you can imagine, we have a super effective Power our play rough coming in, or we have our Altaria in the back lurking still. So this is all but GG's because they are shadow. This is a stab play rough, and this should KO. So boom, goes that Dragonair. So pretty good lead right here. Let's see if it continues, and let's see if we can end off on a strong note. Next, we have the Azumarill versus the Medicham. Pretty good for us. But once again, Medichams have been using such a wide range of moves. We are not sure what people are really using until it happens. So they decided to go for the Psychic right there. We're going to threaten the big damage or shield. We're going to be able to get to another play rough here before they get to their next move. They decided double shield in this situation, so we'll take the shield advantage. If it ends up being a hard counter in the back, so be it. Okay, so this is fantastic for us. They actually switch out into the Azumarill. We're going to have the Registeel for this. Unfortunately for them, we have total control because not only are we going to shield here because it potentially could have been Hydro Pump, but now we're going to have a ton of energy on our Registeel. This Registeel decides to go for the Focus Blast, and it does take it out, so that is really good energy management right there. Now we're going to have to tank a... Oh! I thought this was running the Power Up Punch, but it looks like it's running the Psychic and Ice Punch right there. So this is all but over. As you can imagine, the Altaria is going to dominate that Trevenant, especially with the shield advantage. So GG's to our opponent, and let's see how we do in our last game. Azumarill right now, for me, is a fantastic lead. We get another great lead here. We're going to force our opponent to switch out into the Charjabug. We're going to decide to go into our Registeel, as we don't know what moveset this Charjabug is running. So for the Registeel, this is still a pretty neutral matchup, but once it has revealed that it has a Discharge, it's going to be able to outpace us here. We do get the debuff, which is fantastic. And at this point, we're just going to try our best to do some big damage or try to get some shields. That was a missed opportunity to go for a Zap Cannon right there, but we are going to be able to come in with our Altaria potential farm down, as this is already debuffed. Here we know that this Poliwrath here is going to be absolutely hard countered by our Azumarill. So we farm up a little bit. We try to catch a move, but our opponent ends up just throwing the Icy Wind on our Azumarill anyways. This Poliwrath is definitely running the Icy Wind Scald version, so we can resist every single move. We're going to purposely over farm. We know that they're just going to try to throw as many Icy Winds as possible to kind of play with the switch clock. So we go for this we'll go for this Ice Beam, immediately switch out, and go for the Sky Attack. This is going to be able to get the last shield from our opponent here, and now we are met with the Registeel. So you might think this is a terrible matchup, but with 2 shields, the Altaria is going to do enough neutral damage here. Here we're going to shield the Zap Cannon. We do get debuff, unfortunately, but I think we're going to be able to show the power of this Altaria with 2 shields. That is a resisted Sky Attack right there, which is fine. But as you can see here, the closing power of Registeel with no shield is not very good. So much so that this Altaria forces the Registeel to switch out. We're going to be able to do some heavy damage on that Charjabug. And then here, we're going to race to our move. We are going to be able to get to this Play Rough, which does resisted stab and damage. And then we're going to basically force energy from our opponent. They cannot stack 2 moves, so we're going to be able to farm down with the Azumarill. So GG's to our opponent right there. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoy the video.